Hey everybody, it's Jodi Crowley with North of Boston Lifestyle Guide, and I'm here with Maggie van Galen, and we met through some mutual friends, and she has just a wealth of experience and a really awesome book that she recently published. It's hot off the presses. She's going to tell us about that and some of the other things that she offers.
Thank you, Jodi. It's so exciting to be here. Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. So yeah, the book that's hot off the presses is called King's Day Out. King Takes a Bath, part of the King's Day Out children's book series. Literally still warm, as it is, off the presses. And the King's Day Out stories are about my dog, King. His actual name is Conan, which is Dutch for king. And his best friend, who's a boy named Ben. And King and Ben go on adventures together, and everyday life adventures, really. And Ben is a boy that has sensory processing challenges. The story is basically, well, the tagline is about empowering kiddos as they navigate life's adventures. So everybody, child to adult, has different experiences, excuse me, with sensory input, right? Light, sound, smells, taste, touch. And what we wanted to do is basically, especially for kiddos that have really extreme sensory sensitivities, we wanted to create a book that gives kiddos the tools to overcome some of the fears and anxieties that can come along with the sensory sensitivities. So in the book, Ben is the hero of our story, and Ben has sensory challenges, but he's learned how to overcome those by going to his OT, his occupational therapist. So my co-author, Dr. Wheadon, is a pediatric occupational therapist. She has a clinic in Crowley called Kidshine. And we co-authored the book together, and it works really well because I write the words and then she lays the OT lens over it. So it's a great partnership that we have. And the premise behind each of the books is that King, who's the dog, has to go on or do something. And in this case, he has to take a bath. And personal hygiene and bathing is a huge obstacle, especially for kiddos with really strong sensory challenges. So the water, the sounds, the feel, the touch, the hot, the cold, all of those can be really anxiety provoking. So Ben teaches King how to overcome those in this story. And in each of the books we use 3 or 4 different tools. We always use a schedule. In this book we use lavender as one of the tools, we use soothing music as one of the tools, and we use heavy work, heavy muscle work. And that doesn't mean lifting weights. It can be like a simple game of tug of war with a towel, which just helps to regulate the child's body. So Ben is the hero of our story, which we love. And it's actually a side effect that we didn't really think about when we produced the book, but in the first book, which is called The Car Wash, we got a message from a kindergarten teacher who said, I love the fact that the hero of the story is a boy with neurodivergent, because it mainstreams them in a regular class. And Amy and I both were like, oh my God, like that's so awesome. We love that, right? I get chills just thinking about it. So, yeah, and this is how the book started, was with the car wash. And King is a real dog. He's my dog, Conan, which is Dutch for king.
I see pictures, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's a 120-pound, bundle of love and slobber. But being the dog mom that I am, I took him to the car wash. And I thought it was so cute, and I was videotaping him, and fast forward, I was showing it to my friend whose son has a chromosomal disorder called Duke15q, and it presents a lot like autism and has a lot of sensory challenges. And mind you, before this, I knew nothing about this world, very little anyway. And she's, knowing I'm an author, she said, oh my gosh, you have to write a children's book about this. he would love it. He has service dogs, so he loves the dogs, that kind of thing. And I thought, great idea, but I don't really have the medical background to back that up. So I tucked it away in my little pouch of great ideas, and then fast forward again, I'm having coffee with Dr. Amy Wheadon, who I met through the Women's Business League, and we were talking about something totally different, and I told her this story and showed her the video, and she was like, oh my God, I've always wanted to write a book. And so we decided to write a book together, and then a week later the world shut down to COVID. So this was our COVID project.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, we're really excited about the new book coming out. And a ton of fun. Yeah, but producing a book is a bit like having a child.
Yeah.
It takes a long time, 9 months to a year, and then when it's finally out, you're just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Phew, we're done. So
You're not new to producing and publishing books. You've
Correct.
been in the business for a while, and you started helping other people do that now.
Correct. Yeah, so I have another series called The Adventures of Kino in Earnest, which has been out. This was the first book, and this actually launched in 2011.
Okay.
And there's 3 books in this series. So yeah, I've been doing this for like 20-ish years.
Yeah.
And when COVID hit, my business model had to shift. Because I was primarily doing school readings and, writing seminars for kiddos.
Yeah.
And that all came to a halt.
Yeah.
And it's only just now starting to get going again.
Yeah.
Schools are, and rightfully so, a little nervous about letting strangers into the schools. So, so I sort of shifted and pivoted my business about a year and a half ago, and started to help other authors. My opinion is that everybody has a story in them, especially moms. Moms have a great wealth of stories in their heads.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that I talk to say, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to write a children's book, or I've always wanted to write a book.
Yeah.
And so I just work with, new authors that are starting out that have an idea or a concept, or maybe they have it all written out and they just don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And there are so many options. Anywhere I tell the kids when I do author visits, I always say, if you write something down and share it with somebody else, technically you're a published author, right?
Okay.
But there's a huge range from that to like a J.K. Rowling or Tom Clancy, right? And there's a lot of places in between where people can fall. So it depends on what your goals are, if you just want to leave a legacy for your family, or if you want to become the next, Dr. Seuss or, Dr. Spock, or whatever you want to be, right? So, and it's been awesome. I work with authors anywhere from just editing and proofreading all the way up to full author consulting and helping them get from point A all the way to So it's been great. My first 2 projects have come to completion and are published, which is exciting. And one is a children's book, but one is it's a totally different genre. It's an adult nonfiction book about eating and body image, and it's great. And so I've worked with both of those authors, both local to the New England area, there is an enormous amount of talent on the North Shore. It's just unbelievable. So so it's been a ton of fun. It's been a lot of fun. You can find all of the information about the services I offer and the books and everything else on my website, which is MaggieVanGalen.com.
Well, thank you for taking time with us today. And
of course.
I love how you're bringing your passion to helping young people who are dealing with sensory challenges, and your passion for publishing, and how you're kind of weaving all that together to help people in general. I think that's one of the things that's nice about I run into so many people in this area that are combining their passions and helping people, and it's inspiring. So, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, it's I can't really think of a better job.
Yeah.
You know, from the children's author aspect, like I get to hang out with kids and read stories and see their, reactions and emotions, and to helping somebody go from an idea for an author or an idea for a book all the way to publishing.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. I get as many goosebumps that way as I do doing my own book.
Absolutely.